Okay. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon from where you are. Welcome to today's session. We are delighted that everyone is here, and I'm happy that you're going to have the first webinar from the time we started. So at this juncture, I'll welcome Dr. Neil to officially welcome all the participants as the international president. Then from there, we'll carry on. Welcome, Dr. Neil.
Hello, everyone. Thanks, Irene, for the invitation. Thank you for giving the opportunity to teachers around the world to learn more about teaching English. We know that we are lifelong learners and we need to be updating our knowledge, our methodologies, and from time to time. And thanks to IELTA Kenya, that it's an active branch from IELTA International family, and I want to congratulate to all the members from Kenya and also to the speaker that is going to share her knowledge today. Thank you so much. Welcome to my friends from different countries, and enjoy this wonderful presentation that it is the first one in this 2025. And we are sure that we will have more great webinars in the near future for this year. Thank you so much and enjoy this presentation.
Thank you so much. Dr. Neil is our president, and I'll just take you through a little bit of our history. International English, IELTA means International English Language Teachers Association, and it was started in July 2020, where teachers of English from different parts of the world came together to start the International English Language Teachers Association. And the aim was to support each other's personal and professional growth. There were several meetings led by our president who has just spoke, Dr. Neil from Peru, and Sola, our vice president, Susan Hito from the US, among others. Then they set some mission, vision, and objectives, as you can see from the screen. The team held its first IELTA convention on September 20th, 2020, with more than 1,000 teachers enrolling from different countries. Then after that, we started different branches with different ambassadors in different countries. And as of now, we are 80 countries where we get members from, and 70 of them with registered ambassadors. So from that time, we've been active, having several webinars. Each country has their own day of doing their own webinars, and there are those that we do internationally. Today, we have our speaker from Argentina. She's Professor Marina.
Pleased to be here with you all today.
Yeah. Yes, welcome. Yeah, those are our mission, to provide high quality international standard programs, like I've just said. It's about interconnected world where language teachers play a crucial role in fostering both social and emotional skills and global awareness. Our webinar, titled Integrated SEL and Global Perspectives in World Language Education, will provide educators with practical strategies for combining social emotional learning, which is SEL, with global education goals. You, as a participant today, you'll be able to explore a variety of tasks to incorporate SEL principles into language instructions, helping students develop empathy, cultural awareness, and effective communication skills. Through interactive activities, case studies that will be taken through by our speaker today, Professor Marina, and collaborative discussions, and you will learn how to create classroom environment that supports emotional well-being while developing global competency. Now, our speaker, Professor Marina, is a teacher, trainer, and author with a strong academic background in curriculum and instruction and area studies. She currently serves an associate professor at IES and Lenguas Vivas. And INSPT UTN in Buenos Aires. In these roles, she teaches courses on SEL methods, multimedia learning, discourse analysis, and educational research, bringing a wealth of knowledge and practical expertise to her students. Since 2023, Marina has led STAR Argentina as the country director, organizing international workshops and programs that promote global education and intercultural learning. Her research interests include educational technology, intercultural learning, differentiated instructions, and global education. She's the co-author of 2 books, Literacy and Transmedia Skills, Creative Tasks for Secondary and Higher Education 2022, Current Trends in Global Education, Bridging K-12 and Higher Education for an Interconnected World 2024. But these books are published in Spanish. Among other awards, Marina has recently received the 2024 PLET Award for Sustainable Development Education in World Language Classroom, a prestigious international award granted by the American Council on the Teaching of Foreign Languages and the Language Connects Foundation. As you've seen, she's the country director, organizing international workshops and promotes programs that promote global education. I felt that she'll be a good speaker to our webinar, and I hope everyone will enjoy. Welcome to the session. You can start on, Professor Marina.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Margot. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Integrating SEL and Global Perspectives in World Language Education. I'm very pleased to be part of this first webinar organized by IELTA Kenya. Thank you again, Margot, for having me today. Just to set you in context, and like Margot said, I'm based in Buenos Aires, where I train pre-service EFL teachers on different subjects and topics, including didactics, TEFL methods, multimedia applied to IELTA, and discourse analysis. I also serve as the STAR country director for Argentina. STAR is the Society of Transnational Academic Researchers. And in my role as country director, I've led national and international programs in many different countries. But this is the first time that I'm actually giving a webinar for Kenya, so I'm very, very pleased to be here with you all today. I'd like to know more or less where you're all based. I know there's quite a lot of people from Peru. There's some people from Cameroon, Kenya, Pakistan. If you have not introduced yourselves in the chat, please do. There's people from Angola also. I'd like to see where you're all based. Malaysia. All right. All right. Pakistan again. Good to see you. All right. Ethiopia also. Ghana. All right. Kenya again. All right. Oh, Uganda. All right. Wonderful. All right. So quite a diverse audience. I'm excited to have you all here today. I appreciate your commitment to enhancing your teaching practices. And as Margot said, today we'll be exploring several key areas, basically SEL skills for global citizens. So as you can see on the screen, we'll be starting by exploring the foundational social emotional learning skills that are essential for fostering global citizens. We'll be looking at ways to connect language learning with pressing global challenges so that your lessons are both relevant and impactful. I will be sharing some ideas for projects and tasks also. So I'll be brainstorming some creative project ideas and tasks that not only reinforce language skills, but also promote social emotional learning and global awareness. And finally, where I will be concluding with a summary of key takeaways and provide resources for further exploration. We will also be having a Q&A session, so feel free to jot down any questions you might have throughout the webinar, and I will be happy to take your questions at the end. All right. I would like to start with a quote from Nathaniel Branden. Nathaniel Branden was a Canadian-American psychotherapist and writer known for his work in the psychology of self-esteem. And as you can see, the quote reads, "The first step towards change is awareness. The second step is acceptance." In our word language classrooms, awareness is crucial. It helps us recognize and appreciate the diverse backgrounds of our students. Understanding each other's cultures also makes our classrooms more inclusive, but awareness alone is not enough. Acceptance is the next step. We need to create an environment where everyone feels valued and respected. This includes helping our students accept their own challenges and emotions as they learn a new language. So today we'll be exploring how to foster both awareness and acceptance in our classrooms, and we'll be discussing practical strategies for integrating SEL and global awareness into your teaching practices, like I said before. So hopefully by the end of the webinar, you will have tools to create a supportive and empathetic learning environment for your students. As anticipated, the first part of the webinar will explore the connection between social emotional learning and global awareness. So I will be defining what SEL is, and research shows that SEL significantly improves students' academic performance, behavior, and overall well-being. Also, in today's rapidly changing world, equipping students with SEL skills helps them navigate challenges, while it also fosters resilience and prepares the learners for future success. I will also explore global awareness, which involves understanding and appreciating diverse cultures, social issues, and global interconnections, which is crucial for language learners because learning a new language, like I said before, also involves understanding the contexts in which it's used, and global awareness enriches language instruction precisely by incorporating real-world issues, which encourage the students to engage with topics that usually matter to them and their communities. And we will also be looking at the connection between SEL and global awareness, which is crucial for developing well-rounded global citizens. So in the chat, I would like you to tell me whether you have ever connected these two concepts, or perhaps give reasons why we should be connecting them. So have you ever connected SEL and global awareness or global perspectives? And why is it that we should be connecting these two concepts, you think? Would you like to share your ideas in the chat? Anybody? Have you ever connected these two concepts? Or all right, Lionel. Why is it important then to connect these two concepts? We will be looking at some of the reasons why in a minute, but I'd like to see whether you want to share any ideas or not. Okay, Lawrence says that he does it through the study of literature and society, definitely. Okay, and it's definitely necessary to prepare the students for the workplace, for sure.
To promote social responsibility, because
Exactly.
the whole world is connected.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
Definitely, we know, all of us nowadays, the problem of pollution and what we are passing through, it's a global. So this is one of the things that we have to be aware of.
Definitely. Definitely. There's lots of global problems that are
in
common to us
connection with
all.
that, in connection with that, of course,
Yes.
there is the issue of sustainability, which
Definitely.
is one of the key elements in the 21st century instruction, to teach students and connect them to sustainability.
Definitely. That's super important. Thank you for sharing that. Exactly.
Yeah.
And there's many reasons why we should be connecting these concepts. Like I said before, SEL fosters empathy, which is vital when we discuss global issues or sustainability related problems. It also encourages the students to see the world through others' perspectives, which again is also crucial when it comes to solving all of these common global problems, right? Also, engaging with global challenges requires critical thinking, which is a key SEL skill that helps students analyze all of these complex problems that we all share. and also make informed decisions, right? And like you also said, the world is interconnected. So working on global topics often involves collaboration where students can practice teamwork and communication, which are also vital skills for the workplace, like somebody mentioned. Wonderful, great idea so far. So let me go to the next slide and share some ideas by the Collaborative for Academic, Social, and Emotional Learning team, or CASEL for short. I don't know if you've ever heard about them. They're based in the United States. They do research. They also share practical ideas with teachers, and they also influence policymakers. They have a wonderful framework that I will be sharing with you in a minute. And they envision all children and adults as self-aware, caring, responsible, engaged, and lifelong learners who work together to achieve their goals and create a more inclusive, just world. Like I said, they have devised their own framework to help communities use evidence-based SEL strategies in ways that are not just meaningful to their local context, but also to the global context as well. So I'll be drawing on CASEL's definition of SEL and some of their framework descriptions to explain how SEL can help advance equity, which is super important. So as you can see on the screen, and as defined by CASEL, SEL is a comprehensive process through which the students acquire and apply essential knowledge, skills, and attitudes, which also helps develop healthy identities, manage emotions, and set and achieve goals. So by fostering empathy, supportive relationships, and responsible decision-making, SEL equips students to navigate their personal and social lives effectively. This is vital, of course, for supporting the students' learning and also to encourage them to connect their learning to their own lives, right? SEL also addresses different forms of inequity. It empowers individuals to co-create thriving schools and also contributes to safe, healthy, and just communities. SEL also helps the students become advocates for positive change in their own environments and also the local community, which, like you all said, is super necessary. And this is the so-called CASEL 5. It's also called the CASEL Wheel. And as you can see, it's a set of competencies that can be taught and applied at different stages from childhood to adulthood and also across different cultural contexts. Many countries have used the CASEL 5 to establish preschool to high school learning standards and also to articulate what students should know and be able to do for academic success, school and civic engagement. The so-called CASEL 5 outlines 5 key areas of social and emotional competence, which are essential for student development. I will briefly comment on them so that we can move on to the practical part of the webinar. But as you can see on the screen, self-awareness involves recognizing emotions and understanding how they affect thoughts and behaviors. Self-management refers to the ability to regulate emotions, set goals, and persist through challenges, which is super important for our learners, also enhancing their focus and stress management. On the other hand, social awareness encompasses empathy and the ability to appreciate diverse perspectives, fostering inclusivity. And relationship skills include effective communication and conflict resolution, which are crucial for maintaining healthy relationships. Last but not least, responsible decision-making empowers the students to make ethical choices by evaluating consequences. And these competencies together create a robust framework for integrating SEL into your classrooms. As we move forward in the workshop, I'll be sharing different tasks and project ideas where these areas are all integrated. So you will get to see how to do that in a minute. All right, let me move forward. And before moving on, I'd like to briefly explain what global awareness is. I will share a definition by Oigara. who defines global awareness as the understanding and appreciation of diverse cultures, perspectives, and global issues, which obviously encompasses social, political, economic, and environmental challenges that are faced by different countries and communities around the world. In the context of world language education, global awareness is super important. It helps students appreciate different cultures, fostering empathy and respect for diversity. And as you all know, learning a new language is not just about mastering vocabulary and grammar. It should also be about understanding the culture behind the language. And in this sense, global awareness helps the students see language as a tool for cross-cultural communication and empathy. Also, if we give our students the opportunity to engage with global issues, hopefully they will be able to develop their critical thinking, analyze information, and also consider the implications of the different perspectives from different viewpoints. So I will kindly ask you now to share your ideas in this answer garden. I don't know if you've used this application before. It's a live word cloud creation tool, which allows you to type up short words or phrases. Let me show you how it works. It's really, really simple. So basically, the question is, why should we connect SEL and global awareness? We have briefly commented on that. So we mentioned that empathy is super important. So I can type empathy and then hit submit. And as you will see, we'll be creating a word cloud. And if two people happen to type up the same word, the word will show up bigger. And you can even see how many people type the same word, which is really, really cool when it comes to establishing similarities. So any other ideas that you may want to share? Again, you can just type them up and hit submit. I'll be refreshing the page so that we can, there we go. Collaboration, like we said before. All right. Any other ideas? Again, it's really easy. You just type up a word or a short phrase and then you hit submit and you can type up to 40 characters. Create global citizens, exactly like we said before. Any other ideas? Citizenship. Real life learning, and I would also say lifelong learning. Okay. All right, and like I said, two people have typed up empathy, so that shows up bigger, and obviously empathy is at the core of the discussion. National cohesion and integration, all right, and I would also add global cooperation as well. Respect and comprehension, which is crucial, all right. Anything else? Let me refresh one more time. And then we'll move on to the more practical part. Informed citizens, peace building. Exactly, that's crucial. And that is a key aspect of global cooperation. All right, let me refresh this one more time. And then we'll move on. Diversity, definitely. We want our students to respect diversity, like I said before. All right, great. You can keep adding ideas in there. And you can also access them afterwards if you want. Let me just move forward. I will be adding a few more ideas about the intersection between SEL and global awareness. So what does the literature say about the importance of connecting global awareness and SEL? Like I said before, social emotional learning helps the students develop empathy, self-awareness, and social awareness, skills that are essential when it comes to engaging with people from different cultures. And when you combine SEL with global awareness, students can not only understand their own emotions and reactions, but also become better prepared to appreciate the feelings and perspectives of others, especially those from different backgrounds. So this emotional understanding is crucial when it comes to interacting with people from diverse global contexts. Okay? Now, let's go over some of the most important SEL skills to cultivate global citizens. I'd like you to think for a minute whether you usually try to incorporate any of these skills into your lessons. Go over the list and please use the chat. Do you typically use any of these skills, or do you typically incorporate any of these skills into your lessons? And if so, how do you do it? All right, people are writing, of course. All right, that's good to know. So are there any skills that you prioritize? These skills are essential for developing global citizens who can effectively navigate this interconnected, all right, problem-solving skills and communication skills. All right, how do you go about that? Collaboration. Do you work on specific projects? Cultural awareness, all right, to help in gender equality and stop, right, stereotypes. All right. Thank you, Margot, for sharing that. Anybody else? Decision-making skills, advocacy. All right. Well, that's great to know. We will be going over some ideas where you can integrate some of these skills, right? Obviously, empathy allows individuals to understand and share the feelings of others, and effective communication skills are also crucial. They enable the students to express their thoughts and feelings. Collaboration, like we said before, is a vital skill, as working effectively in diverse teams fosters respect for different viewpoints. Cultural awareness also plays a significant role, as it involves recognizing and appreciating cultural differences. Self-regulation also is super important. It allows for the management of emotions and reactions. So hopefully that leads to respectful interactions. Open-mindedness is also super important for being receptive to new ideas and experiences. And advocacy, like somebody mentioned, also empowers the students to take action in support of causes, which is very, very important to promote social justice and also to influence positive change in their communities and beyond. Now, what are some practical ways to integrate social emotional learning and global issues into the world language curriculum? One effective approach to do that is to create thematic units centered around global issues such as climate change or social justice that incorporate specific language learning objectives. Utilizing authentic texts, videos, and discussions within these themes can deepen the students' understanding. Also, project-based learning. This is another strategy where students collaboratively research a global issue, create presentations, and propose solutions. Role-playing and simulations can also engage the students in exploring different perspectives on global problems, encouraging empathy and allowing, for real life practice of specific language skills. Incorporating literature and media, like somebody said at the beginning, can also spark discussions, especially if these, deals with diverse cultures and perspectives. And the students can analyze characters' motivations, cultural backgrounds, which also enhances their cultural awareness. Organizing debates and discussions on these topics promotes critical thinking and respectful communication, hopefully, which also allows the students to express their opinions while practicing persuasive language, which is very, very important. Service learning projects that address local or global issues also encourage the students to volunteer and reflect on their own experiences. building resilience and a sense of agency. I also like reflection journals, which can further support this process by allowing the students to consider their learning related to SEL and global perspectives. And inviting guest speakers or arranging virtual exchanges with students from other countries also exposes learners to diverse perspectives and fosters global connections. Culturally responsive teaching also incorporates relevant materials and practices, which helps create an inclusive learning environment and also enhances cultural awareness, one of the skills that I mentioned before. Finally, integrating mindfulness activities promotes self-regulation and emotional awareness, aiding the students in managing stress and developing resilience. So by implementing these strategies and ideas, you can create a dynamic classroom that not only improves language skills, like we said before, but also prepares your students to be thoughtful, empathetic, global citizens. Let's explore some engaging project ideas that combine SEL and global awareness in your classroom. I'll be showing some concrete examples in the next few slides, starting with the so-called empathy mapping exercise. I will show you an example in a second. This activity helps students understand different perspectives on global issues by creating empathy maps for individuals affected by these issues. The students can foster deep emotional connections and also enhance their understanding of diverse experiences. This empathy map was put together by a group of high school students in Buenos Aires after having had a virtual session with a group of high schoolers in Ukraine. And as you can see, it is centered around Anima, a young refugee from Ukraine, and it provides a comprehensive understanding of her thoughts, feelings, and experiences, allowing students in Buenos Aires to better empathize with her perspective. So if you were to use this in your own classes, it could serve as a discussion tool, for example, to help students develop a deeper understanding of the complexities surrounding global issues such as displacement and refugee experiences. This proved to be quite useful for learners in Buenos Aires, so I highly recommend using empathy maps. And going back to the previous slide, you can also set what I like to call a cultural heritage fair. In this project, students research their cultural backgrounds and create displays or presentations. They can share stories, food, traditions, and highlight global issues that impact their own cultures. This not only promotes empathy and respect, but also enriches the classroom with diverse voices. Cultural storytelling is also very useful. Each student shares a personal story related to their own cultural background or a global issue of their choice, hopefully something that is affecting their own community. They present these stories in small groups, which encourages active listening and also builds empathy, and hopefully also allows the students to connect to these stories on a more personal level. Simulation scenarios are also quite interesting. You can create a scenario based on any global topic, such as the climate crisis or the refugee situation in Ukraine, where students assume different roles and negotiate solutions. This exercise usually promotes discussions, debates, and decision-making processes, allowing the students to practice empathy and conflict resolution skills. So these ideas and projects not only enhance language learning, like I said before, but also help cultivate essential social emotional skills, preparing students to engage thoughtfully with the world around them. Would you be willing to implement any of these ideas in your classrooms? Have you done anything similar so far? You can use the chat for that. Sure. All right. You did them all. Okay, wonderful. All right. There's always a twist, and I'm sure you can adapt them to fit or suit different proficiency levels and contexts. All right. The project and tasks, all right. Project-based learning is always a must for sure. All right, great. All right, let me share one more project. This is a project I helped design and implement in my role as Start Country Director for Argentina. We called it Global Voices, a cultural exchange initiative. And as you can see, the project aimed to foster social emotional learning skills and global awareness among ESL students through a collaborative cultural exchange with peers from another country. Students in both countries and Argentina and Ukraine were asked to research, present, and engage in meaningful discussions about their own cultures, common global problems, and the importance of empathy and understanding. As you can see, some of these specific objectives were to help the students develop language skills through research, writing, and speaking, enhance their cultural awareness and empathy by exploring diverse perspectives, foster collaboration and communication skills through group work and discussions, and promote critical thinking by analyzing global issues relevant to both cultures. The project lasted 5 weeks, and there were 6 key components. Week 1 was all about introductions and group formation. At the kickoff meeting, we introduced the project objectives and the importance of cultural exchange, and the students were divided into small groups to make sure that there was a mix of abilities and backgrounds. During week 2, the students researched their own culture and identified a global issue relevant to their own country, such as war, social justice, or quality education. They engaged on different online activities. They used online resources, interviews with family or community members, and literature to gather information. Also, to focus on SEL, we incorporated reflective journaling activities where the students were allowed to express their thoughts and feelings about their cultural identity and the global problem that they had chosen. Week 3 was all about collaboration with the partner school. The actual virtual exchange was set up during week 3. A local public secondary school in Argentina connected with a partner school in Ukraine on Zoom. They shared findings about their culture and the global issues that they had explored, and they also prepared presentations, slideshows, videos, or posters to share with their peers in the partner school. On week 4, each group presented their research to the class and the partner school. They highlighted similarities and differences between the two cultures and discussed the most chosen global issue, which in this case was war and its consequences. Teachers facilitated discussions where students reflected on what they had learned from their peers and how different cultures approach similar problems. Week 5 was all about reflection and developing the action plan. So using guided reflection journals, the students were given the chance to reflect on their experiences, emphasizing SEL skills such as empathy, collaboration, and communication. And to round off the project, each group devised a simple action plan to address the global problem discussed. They came up with different ideas, including a community service project, a campaign for awareness, and even a proposal for a local initiative to help raise funds for Ukraine. On week 6, groups presented their action plans to the class, discussing how they could apply what they had learned in real life. And the last feedback session allowed for peer feedback and discussion on the proposed action plan. You may be wondering how exactly we dealt with assessment. In this case, assessment was ongoing. We used specific rubrics to assess a variety of aspects and areas. So for example, students were assessed on their research presentations and participation in discussions. We also evaluated the reflective journals and the students' ability to collaborate and communicate effectively. And we even assessed their understanding of cultural differences and global issues through presentations and discussions. So as you can see, the Global Voices project not only enhanced the students' language skills, but also promoted SEL and global awareness. This is a sample reflection from one of the student participants from Argentina. As you can see, participating in the project was a valuable experience for him. He learned important social emotional skills and gained a better understanding of global citizenship. As he says, he developed empathy by learning about Amina, a young refugee. Her story helped him understand the challenges that people typically face, which made him appreciate different cultures. Also, working in a diverse group taught him collaboration. He learned to listen to others and work together on presentations. His communication skills improved as he practiced sharing his ideas and accepting feedback, and he even learned self-regulation when disagreements happen. As he says, he stayed calm and responded thoughtfully, which helped their group stay positive. So overall, this project changed how his own views regarding global citizenship were laid out. And he now knows it's not just about being aware of global issues, but also about taking action. All right, so as we wrap up today's webinar, I want to take a moment to reflect on what we have learned and how you can apply these insights moving forward. First, I'd love to hear from you about your biggest takeaway from our discussion today. So what resonated with you the most? What would be your biggest takeaway from the webinar today? Any projects or ideas you may want to try out? You will
Professor
have...
Marina?
Yes.
Maybe as they prepare themselves, you can have Mona.
Hello again.
Yeah.
Hopefully
Hello.
you can hear me very well.
Yes.
I'll share one of the skills that you have told us about. I have shared citizenship recipe. We're
Nice.
working on building up a good citizen, but it should be built with love, with passion, and definitely that when we have a good family, because the community always starts from, as we name it, the mini society, which is the family. For example, I use the words critical thinking because we should know that we have to control our emotions as if we are controlling the quantity of salt in our salad or in our food that we're preparing. This is the way that I did with my students in grade 9. That means it is, I don't know, according to your curriculum, but here it is the last year in the intermediate class. And in the end, we got a mixture of different recipes that show how the students were raised up in their families, and they shared it with everyone. And in the end, we got a feedback from each one. What have you learned from your friend's recipe?
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
And thank you all for sharing your ideas in the chat. I'm glad you have all enjoyed the session. And how is it that you are addressing social emotional learning now in your own classes? Like Mona said, some of you are working on projects. I would also briefly like to talk about the challenges that you face in integrating these important topics into your classes, because that is usually a problem. So are there any specific challenges that you typically face when integrating these topics?
Yes. Especially here in Lebanon, everyone knows that we have passed through the war that we were in. And that was one of the challenges that we couldn't hold it, because some of the students, they were affected negatively according to the situation that they were passing through.
Right.
So also this one, it is a kind of challenge. We need to overcome it. Thankfully, we have passed it, thankfully.
Okay, that's good to know. Definitely, we need to think about any possible challenges and, like you said, do whatever we can to make sure that we can overcome them so that we can effectively integrate these ideas into the curriculum. Somebody's raising their hands.
Yeah, that's Gerida.
Okay, go ahead, please.
Yeah, thank you. There are so many challenges when you are trying something new. Let's say, for example, I'm working on project-based learning with my students. I even faced a challenge from the administrative office of our school even, but I have already explained them the way how it helps my students in order to incorporate the 21st century skills. Actually, I have got this knowledge from the American Embassy, Relo, East Africa. So I want to try this with my students, and I have already applied, and I'm working on it, and hopefully the final result will be presented before June. So
Glad to hear that.
there are lots of we have a lot of challenges starting from the school principals. So after I have already just tell them in detail how it works for my students in order to improve their English language, and they are going to address the societal kind of problems. They have already believed me, then we just started again, and we are working on it.
Exactly. We need to get our principal support. Sometimes, these are things that we do on our own, and it's important to show them the results because that's all they care about sometimes, right? But as long as you can show them concrete results and as long as you can explain to them why we should be doing this, you should be fine. But as the participant was saying, we need to overcome these challenges before we can effectively integrate these ideas into our classes. All right. As we conclude today's webinar, I'd like to leave you with a thought inspired by Hippo, also known as Saint Augustine, who was a theologian and philosopher. And as you can see, the quote reads, "The word is a book, and those who do not travel read only one page." I think this quote beautifully encapsulates the importance of broadening our perspectives, both in our personal lives and in the classroom. By integrating social emotional learning and global awareness into our teaching, we're not just preparing our students to succeed academically, we're encouraging them to explore the rich, diverse narrative of the world around them. And each of you plays a vital role in helping your students turn the pages of this book, allowing them to engage with different cultures, viewpoints, and experiences. So as you implement the ideas and strategies discussed today, remember that you are equipping your students to become thoughtful, empathetic, global citizens. Thank you for your active participation, insights, and commitment to fostering a more inclusive and understanding classroom environment.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
My
Thank
pleasure.
you very, very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Mr. Marina.
Thank you, Marina.
Thank you. I'll be sharing
Thank
the
you.
recording, so you should be able to access that soon. If you want to go back to any of the projects or ideas that I mentioned, you can do that. And let me share my contact information. If you're interested, we can continue the discussion on social media. Thank you again, Margot.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Presentation. Thank you.